So welcome back guys, and this is the Manufacturers Cup race 1, and as you can see this is the first race. So you get 3 races in the AS, that's my ranking. You get 3 time slots to do this same race, so you get 5 p.m, 7 p.m, and 9 p.m. So we went in for the 5 p.m. one, which is this now, what I'm showing you. Just wanted to show you how this first race went. They had dynamic weather on. Tyre wear was at 4 times, so this one was a little bit of a tricky one to get the grasp of. And we went into the later race, which will be later in this video if you want to jump forward. And I'm just going to get into this now and show you what happened. So as you can see, we went from 3rd already to 2nd. Start on racing mediums, and I'm pretty sure there is a little bit of rain incoming, as you can see in the bottom right there, and it's just gathering how much rain and how wet it will be to what tires you're going to change on. So with a 20 lap race like this, it'd probably change at 10 and then go another 10 depending on the rain. So as you can see here, onto the 2nd lap, just trying to keep pace with this car in front, and the Porsche is not the best for top end speed, so we're losing a lot of time on these straights here. We're just trying to keep up, use the tyres as best as we can in the corners, and stay with the car in front. The Porsche in the cup races, you mainly need to try and stay within the slipstream, which, as you'll see in the 2nd race, is a common theme. We get stuck with no slipstream. So coming to the end of the 2nd lap now, and we haven't lost too much time on the car in front, about 1.5 seconds here, and the car behind is probably around that same gap, 1.9, and finish up here on the end of the 2nd lap. So we fast forward to where we pitted. So we pitted in on the 5th, and really here what I was trying to do is jump ahead of the pack, and I saw the incoming rain, so I thought, right, let's go in, change for wet tyres, and we'll try and beat them. When the rain comes down, they'll be on racing mediums, so we'll be able to catch up on time. But as you can see down here on the left, bottom left here, it wasn't raining really. It wasn't raining at all. So we ended up doing maybe 2 or 3 laps on these wet tyres, and it really didn't help, because what happened is the tyres just started to disappear. There was no tread on the tyre. So we fast forward here to the 12th. So that's what we did, maybe 5 laps, and as you can see in the bottom left there, you know, as even on the screen we're sliding all over the track. So we pit in again, seeing as the rain down there in the bottom right. We'll have a look at that. Seems like maybe it's going to move on and we'll get some dry road, you know, a dry line to start to appear on the track. So we pitted in again, because I was really struggling on the tyre tread on these wet tyres. Really struggling. So as you can see here on the bottom left, we've come out on IMs again. I think we're a little bit too early here on our choice of what tyre to use, because it is still soaking wet on the track. So if we would have left it a few laps and went wet, we'd have been alright in this situation here. Would have been starting to dry out, but at this moment it's way too wet. So if we fast forward now to the 2nd to last lap, the IMs are holding up good, which they will. They're not going to eat up no tyre tread. because it's on a wet surface, and you can see here it's really wet. Everybody's struggling, losing the back end. You can see a bit of server glitch there going on as well, which ain't helping, especially in the rain. But we do have a dry line starting to appear a little bit here, so I'm thinking in these 2 laps here I'm going to try and pass these guys and end up with a 5th. Is the best we can get, is maybe a 5th, trying to use this dry line. And as you can see there, it's all very slow at the moment, but something's about to happen which changes the whole trajectory of my race. So we come round here now, just trying to keep it tight, stay with this guy in 7th in front. And as you can see, even the Mercedes is trying to make a move there. We do have a little look up the inside here, but just we'll end up taking someone out, so we back off. And then right here we're going to slow it down for you guys. Watch this. So watch 7th place here. It slides out and then disappears, which throws me off. And then I hit this guy, tap him. I'm like, oh. Plus we're in the rain. Not much I can do there. Just stop, give him back to position, carrying into the race. But definitely did not help me there. If any of you have had the server glitch go off right in front of you while you're racing, it just doesn't help. It really does throw you off. Sometimes you can deal with it, other times it's going to end up in a bad situation. And then to put the nail in the coffin, we come around here, get a bit too much grip, hit him again and spin him out, which then we have to wait, give him back his position and let him through. So that there defined my race basically. That was where I was going to finish, is 10th. As you can see, we fast forward on to the end of the race now. It's basically end of the race, and we're still behind the guy that we ended up knocking off. We're just trying to catch him up. And the last 2 turns here, and as you can see, we finish in 10th. So that was race 1, a weird one. We jumped the gun a little bit, but we got a 10th place out of it. So we're going to fast forward now onto the main race, which is the full race, guys. There's some laps cut out throughout. We try to take out as much as we can, but there is a few interesting points throughout nearly each lap of this race. So the 9 PM slot for me, this is the last race, my last chance basically to get some points. Better than a 10th was what I was hoping for, and hoping we don't get too much rain either, which would be brilliant, as we've got a decent pace with the racing medium tyres. So coming up to the latter end of lap 1 now, and as you can see, that car's gone off there, which has bunched them up a little bit, these 3 in front. And I'm just having to stay at the back. We look for a little move there, but we don't get the grip. So we pull off a little bit, make sure we're staying behind them. Just the main thing on the straights, the Porsche is not the best on the straight, so we want to try and stay with the slipstream. As you can see, there's a car right there behind as well, so it's basically a 5, 6, 7 car run here. First has managed to just shoot off. We give him a little bump draft there, and as we come up to these last 2 corners here, you'll see basically my tyres are not warmed up. I got onto the brakes maybe a bit late. I tried to dodge here to not cause any big infraction. I know it was a big send, but we didn't get a penalty either. And in that moment, the BMW had hit the Porsche as well, so I just kind of slid in and took up that space with a little bounce off of third. So we just couldn't help that bit of braking there. The tyres was not warmed up. But as you'll see now, because of the top end speed of this Porsche, which isn't the best, brilliant in the corners, but the top end speed, this guy's back in front now. He's going to come down here on the straight, and as you can see, he's just pulling ahead, and he's going to take second. I'm going to sit in behind him. We have still got that train of cars behind, maybe 3, 4 cars. And all my goal here now is to stay with this guy. But you'll see on the right, first has dropped off. Look, don't know what he's doing. Maybe it's a drop back to a certain place, and because later on in the race you'll see him. So stay tuned. But right now, all we're trying to do is stay on the back end of this car and maybe bump draft and try and push and get as far ahead as possible from the pack behind. So as you can see, we're up to lap 5 now, and he's starting to create a gap between me and him. And as I said, with this straight right here, coming down here into the long back straight, is I'm easily losing a second, easily. I'm doing my best in the turns, and as you can see in the bottom left there where it says RM, that's your tyres, the 4 white bars. We're losing a lot. It's only 5th lap and we're already losing that grip. So what I am not gaining in the corners is any grip. So I'm trying my hardest into these turns to pull back any missed time that we're losing on the straights. But there is 2 massive straights in this, which if you're in a car with a better top end, the BMW, the Genesis, I mean the Lexus even, you're just gonna, you don't even need bump draft. You don't need no draft, you don't need no slip basically. But we are trying our hardest right here to just stay with him. He's about 1.5 seconds maybe away at this point. And if you look up onto the grid, 3rd, who was in 1st originally, has dropped back, has made it back to 3rd now. Probably maybe a 4-second gap, 5-second gap between, which, so I know that guy in 3rd is a very fast driver and he's going to be coming trying to catch up as quick as he can. And what was happening right here is I'm out of the slip of this car, so all he's gaining, I'm not gaining. It would be good to be inside of that slip there and gaining some time on him, but it just doesn't seem to. The tyre wear's not helping me. I just don't seem to be pulling him within that space where I want him. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a gap there building up, and by the 8th now we've got 3rd place is around 1.5 seconds behind us, and 1st has made it over 3.5 seconds, maybe 4 seconds. So really good driving from 1st. And what's going to be happening now is 3rd place is just going to be slowly building, trying to get within our slip, and that'll be it. That'll be away. So if we have a look up into the top right now, we've got 3rd place, who was originally 1st and dropped back, now has made it up to 3rd place, is within around 1 second of us now easily. And if you keep an eye on their screen, at this point on the 10th lap they pit in, so they've took the early option of the pit. And what I thought at this moment is I'm going to try and stay out and stay and do what 1st is going to do. So when 1st pits in, I'm going to pit in. But really what I should have thought of at that moment in time is I should have pitted in then and used the slipstream of the guy who was in third, to then try and catch back up with first. So if you keep your eye on the top right again, we're going to go back to 5th place now, who was originally right behind us earlier, and they pitted in on the 10th. So now first has gone in on 11th, start of 12th. I've followed him in. As you can see in the top right, that is 5th place's point of view from their camera, and they are coming in strong right now. I'm not too sure on how long the pit is, but it's a decent amount of time, and obviously he would have come out on fresher tires for maybe 2 laps, so definitely made up the time. So we're into the pit now. He's just coming across the line. Shouldn't be too far off, but we've had to refuel a bit there as well, and I think that is what we've missed out on now. Again, we're in no man's land, no slip. These guys are right behind each other now, first and second, and basically both of them cars are brilliant on the straights. So all up the straights, there's going to be bump drafting each other, using that slip and pulling away from me. I've just got clean air in front of me, no one behind me that's going to be working with me to bump me. So we just got to try and keep our pace up here, be as fast as possible, don't make no mistakes, no penalties, and try our hardest not to make too much time between first and ourselves, because trust me, later in the race it gets very, very close. So we'll fast forward you through to the 15th here, 15th lap, maybe halfway through the lap here. And if you take in a couple of things at this moment in time, we've got a couple of cars behind us, maybe 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds behind, catching on us. They've got the bump draft. They're going to be using the bump draft to try and be catching me up. Then we've got the two guys in front who are right next to each other, who are using bump draft. I am literally in no man's land here, just trying to go as fast as I can. But if you look in the left hand corner here, we've got the tyre wear, which isn't too bad, but the fuel next to it, that's where we have to be careful. That is not going to last us until lap 20. That will last maybe 3.5 laps, and we're just going to come short. So later into this, we have to make a decision, and as I said, it does get super close, and yeah, the race gets intense. So we're on the 19th lap now, guys. Tyre wear isn't that bad, and if you've watched up until this point, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Very much appreciated. But down there on the bottom left, as you can see, the fuel is low. That is not a lap's worth of fuel. It's not going to last us a lap. So what you have the choice of doing is picking the mapping, basically we'll call it, where you could turn it from 5 down. You can turn it down, basically the fuel, how much fuel is taking in, but you lose power. And what we've got in the top right there is 4th place, literally right behind us now. So we've had to turn down the fuel, lose the power, and now we've got a race like that. So I'm literally trying to be as fast as I can in that setting, because I don't know if fourth place is on one and he's using all power, plus he's in the BMW, he's got the top end speed on me down the straights. Have I kept enough here to keep this guy from getting me? Right, here we go. We're getting on to the last straight of the race here, and as you can see, this guy is right behind us now, literally within a second. And given the power on the straights, I'm just going to be making up ground. I'm still on the lowest setting here, well, second lowest. I've turned it down by 2 to save the fuel. I think about here I turn it back up to 1 because I'm thinking, right, we're definitely going to get over the line. I need the power here. And as you can see, into the last corner, made up so much ground. If I'd have made one mistake there, look at that, there's 2, 3, 4 cars right behind me. But we come through and take the third. Guys, if you watched to this point and enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you can. This is race 1. We'll see you in the next one coming up. Take care, guys.